Imagine having a guide that can help you live a life filled with more freedom, peace, and happiness. Don Miguel Ruiz's The Four Agreements offers exactly that. Based on ancient Toltec wisdom, this book teaches you how to break free from the beliefs that limit you and rediscover your inner power. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best. These four simple agreements have the power to transform your life. As Ruiz says, true freedom is the ability to create your own dream. In this video, we'll explore how you can apply these four agreements in your life and discover a path to a new beginning. Introduction. Toltec Wisdom. Once upon a time, deep in the forests of Mexico, surrounded by mountains, lived a wise people who had unlocked the secrets of the human soul, the Toltecs. For them, life was more than just existing in the physical world. They had built a bridge between the seen and unseen worlds, passing down their wisdom through generations. This wisdom became known as the Toltec teachings, a powerful understanding of how to harness inner strength and live in harmony with the universe. Don Miguel Ruiz, a modern-day Toltec, brought this ancient wisdom to the modern world. The Toltecs were known as warriors, but the battle they fought was not external, it was within themselves, he writes. This battle is the fight against the judgments, fears, and limiting beliefs that hold us back. The person who wins this inner battle gains freedom and discovers their true self. Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements, serves as a guide for winning this battle and reclaiming one's personal freedom. The Toltec teachings propose that life is a dream. But this dream is not just the one we have at night when we sleep. According to the Toltecs, all of life is a dream, and we are the actors within it. Every moment of our lives is a dream, yet most people are unaware of it, Ruiz explains. We create this dream with our perceptions, beliefs, and thoughts. However, the problem is that most of the time, this dream is out of our control because we start living in the dreams created by others. The Toltecs call this process domestication. From the moment we are born, we enter a process of domestication. Our families, schools, society, and culture shape us based on certain beliefs, norms, and values. When you were born, you were innocent, free, and limitless. But over time, you were taught what was right and what was wrong. You forgot how to create your own dream and got lost in the dream of others. This domestication process suppresses an individual's free will and true essence. We become trapped in the realities created by others, moving further away from our authentic selves. But according to Toltec wisdom, it is possible to wake up from this dream. Once you were free, and you can be free again, Ruiz reminds us. The key is to shed the domesticated identity imposed on us and begin creating our own dream. The Toltec teachings offer four fundamental agreements to guide us on this path of awakening. These agreements help individuals rediscover themselves and reclaim their inner freedom. Ruiz gently nudges us with a powerful truth. You are living in someone else's dream, but it's within your power to create your own. Toltec wisdom teaches us to become aware of the unconscious dream we are living in and start creating a conscious one. This teaching symbolizes a spiritual awakening. The domesticated mind believes everything is dependent on the outside world, but the Toltecs tell us that the truth lies within us. Words are magic because they shape our beliefs, thoughts, and ultimately our dream, Ruiz says. That's why the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. People believe in what others tell them, or worse, the lies they tell themselves, forgetting their inner power. But every word is like a seed planted in our subconscious, shaping the dream we live in. If those words are filled with love and freedom, our dream becomes beautiful. If they are filled with judgment, fear, and anger, our dream turns into a nightmare. The Toltecs believe that each person's life is a work of art. This art is shaped by our dream. Life is a dream, and you have the power to choose how that dream will unfold. However, making that choice requires conscious awareness. One must first become aware of the dream they are living and then decide how to shape it. Waking up from the domesticated dream allows us to become the masters of our own lives. In Toltec wisdom, to be a master means not controlling the outside world, but mastering the inner world. A Toltec master is someone who shapes their own mental world, emotions, and beliefs. They live life consciously and are aware of every moment. True mastery is about being conscious in every moment of your life, Ruiz states. A Toltec master acts with love in every action. Love is the most powerful element in creating this dream. Without love, life becomes a prison. But a dream filled with love opens the doors to true freedom. Toltec mastery is about tapping into one's potential and using it to the fullest. This is not just a spiritual journey, it is also an art. Life is an art, and you are the artist, Ruiz writes. Creating your dream is the pinnacle of this art. However, the Toltecs also teach that we are not only living in our individual dream, but also in a collective dream. We exist in the dreams of society, family, and culture. This collective dream wraps itself around us like a cloak, shaping our experiences and beliefs. In the end, Toltec wisdom offers a guide to consciously creating one's own dream. It's time to wake up from the dream. You have the power to shape your life with love, consciousness, and freedom. This dream is not just an individual experience, but a universal reality. Toltec mastery reminds us that every human being has the power to create their own reality. The world is a dream, and we have the choice of how to shape it. Living with freedom, consciousness, and love is a reality every human can attain. Domestication and the dream. When a person is born, they enter this world as a pure being. At that moment, they are not limited by any boundaries, rules, or beliefs. Life is like a game to them. They are curious about everything and have no fear of trying or failing. However, as time passes, the people around them begin to shape their behavior, teach them to follow rules, and confine them within certain limits. This process is referred to as domestication in Toltec wisdom. When we are born, we are pure, undomesticated beings. But soon, we are taught how to behave and who we are supposed to be. This domestication process is when a person loses their innate freedom and boundless potential. Gradually, societal rules and beliefs distance them from their true essence. One of the first things a child learns is to see the world through the eyes of others. Their parents tell them what is right and wrong, what is acceptable and what is not. Society, school, friends, and culture contribute to this process. At this point, the domestication process accelerates. Our parents, teachers, priests, and society created a dream for us. This dream dictates what we should believe, how we should behave. Domestication aims to make a person fit the expectations of others. In this process, the individual becomes disconnected from their essence and is forced to conform to external expectations. The Toltecs describe the world as a dream. This dream is not just limited to the dreams we have at night while we sleep. In fact, the life we live is also a dream. However, this dream is often one we live unconsciously, shaped by the beliefs and expectations of others. We are all dreaming. What we call reality is also a dream, a societal dream. Our individual dream is a part of this collective dream. With these words, Don Miguel Ruiz emphasizes how deeply we are embedded in the dream and how difficult it is to realize this. Our dream begins to form even before we are born. Our family, culture, and society teach us how to behave. The things constantly told to a child lay the foundation of their dream. If a child is continually criticized, judged, and made to feel unworthy of love, this can turn their dream into a nightmare. We live in a dream of fear because the beliefs and rules taught to us are based on fear, not love. On the other hand, a child raised in a loving and free environment can be more courageous in creating their own dream. However, most of the time, children are domesticated, and this domestication distances them from their true selves. As children, we were told who we were and who we should be. We forgot how to create our own dream and began living the dream created by others. One of the most powerful tools of domestication is words. Words possess an incredible power. When a child is repeatedly told the same things, they internalize these words and accept them as their truth. Words are magic. Words, like a magician, shape our dream, and we believe in them without even realizing it. If a child is constantly told, "You are not good enough," they will start to believe it. At this point, the domestication process takes over, and the individual becomes trapped in the dream created by others, disconnected from their own. This process doesn't just begin in childhood, it continues into adulthood. People feel compelled to conform to societal expectations. The collective dream is a dream that we all live in, but most of us are not even aware of. It is a dream filled with fears and limitations. Becoming aware of this dream is the first step in one's journey of awakening. According to Toltec wisdom, domesticated people live their lives based on the beliefs and rules imposed on them by others. However, it is possible to wake up from this dream. When a person becomes aware of this domestication process and begins to question their beliefs, they find the path to freedom. Once domesticated, a person doesn't question their beliefs. But when they begin to question these beliefs, they realize how deep domestication runs, and the awakening from the dream begins. Waking up from the dream means that the person begins to create their own reality. It means that the individual is no longer living in the dream of others, but in the dream they have created. However, this process is not easy. Most people believe that the things they believe in are their own. Yet, most of these beliefs were taught to them by others. Domestication wraps around a person like chains. But these chains are also reinforced by the individual themselves. Over time, a person begins to defend their beliefs, not realizing that these beliefs are the product of a domesticated dream. We live in a prison of our own making, but breaking free is in our hands. The key is becoming aware of our dream. Breaking free from the domestication process means breaking these chains and creating one's own reality. When a person starts breaking these chains, they encounter a great sense of freedom. As they take steps to create their own dream, they rediscover their inner power. They reshape their values and beliefs. True freedom is creating your own dream. It means going beyond domesticated beliefs and creating your own reality. In this process, the individual gets to know themselves better and understands who they really are. The domesticated mind is not aware of freedom. But once this awareness is gained, life changes completely. When a person creates their own dream, life becomes a game, a dance. You no longer live in the dream of others. You have created your own reality. This journey is one of awakening and liberation. Toltec wisdom teaches that every person has the power to create their own dream. Each person can shape their own life and create their own dream. The domestication process distances individuals from this power. However, reclaiming this power is the greatest gift one can give themselves. True freedom is creating your own dream, and this dream is shaped only by you. In this process, the individual gets to know themselves better and understands who they really are. The domesticated mind is not aware of freedom. But once this awareness is gained, life changes completely. When a person creates their own dream, life becomes a game, a dance. You no longer live in the dream of others. You have created your own reality. This journey is one of awakening and liberation. Toltec wisdom teaches that every person has the power to create their own dream. Each person can shape their own life and create their own dream. The domestication process distances individuals from this power. However, reclaiming this power is the greatest gift one can give themselves. True freedom is creating your own dream, and this dream is shaped only by you. In conclusion, the relationship between domestication and the dream illustrates how a person gets lost in their own life and how they can reach freedom. Toltec wisdom reminds us that every person has the power to create their own dream. The first agreement: be impeccable with your word. The first of the 4 agreements in Toltec wisdom is be impeccable with your word. While this agreement may seem simple on the surface, it is, in fact, a principle that deeply affects all aspects of our lives. As Don Miguel Ruiz explains, understanding the power of our words is the first and most important step in transforming our lives. The word is magic, says Ruiz. This magic can either be a spell that beautifies our life or a curse that limits and harms us. How we use the power of words directly impacts the quality of our lives. The first agreement teaches us to be aware of the energy created by our words and to use them wisely. Every word is like a seed. What we say, think, and believe is planted in the soil of our minds and eventually becomes reality. If we use loving, constructive words, we create a positive dream in our lives. However, if we use negative, destructive, and harmful words, these words not only hurt others, but also ourselves. The power of words depends on how we use them. Words can either set us free or enslave us. At the heart of this agreement lies honesty and mindfulness. People often speak without realizing how impactful their words can be. Sometimes they lie, exaggerate, or speak in ways that belittle others. Every word, whether consciously or unconsciously spoken, has an effect. To praise someone, to honor and encourage them, shows the positive impact our words can have. On the other hand, criticizing, belittling, or insulting someone can leave deep wounds in their mind. Know that your words can be poison or medicine. When Ruiz refers to words as a kind of magic, he teaches us to understand the energy behind our words. Everything we say and think vibrates at a certain frequency, and this vibration affects both ourselves and those around us. Words are a tool. They either build or destroy. Being impeccable with your word is the greatest responsibility to avoid harming yourself and others. The first agreement aims to help us acknowledge the power of our words and use them more consciously. The impact of words extends not only to others, but also to ourselves. People must be careful with their inner dialogue. Our mind is always dreaming. This dream is shaped by what we say and think. What we tell ourselves directly influences who we are and how we treat ourselves. If we constantly criticize ourselves, belittle ourselves, and believe we are unworthy, these words take root in our minds and become our truth. Our minds accept these words as reality, and our lives are shaped by these beliefs. When we are harsh with ourselves using our words, we build our own prison. Many people are ruled by the harsh critic in their mind. This inner voice constantly tells them they are not good enough, unworthy, or a failure. However, being impeccable with our word is the first step toward breaking free from this inner prison. Learning to be kinder and more supportive of ourselves liberates our minds. When we speak to ourselves with positive, constructive words, these words reshape our lives. Another aspect of being impeccable with your word is avoiding gossip and negative talk. Gossip is a harmful energy that poisons not only the target, but also the person engaging in it. By gossiping, we don't just negatively affect someone else's life. We also harm our own. Gossip is one of the most harmful spells. When you criticize someone, you are not harming them, you are poisoning your own dream. Avoiding gossip is about taking responsibility for making others' lives better. Instead of negatively intervening in the lives of others, we should choose to use our words with love and understanding. Another key point of the first agreement is to avoid making assumptions. People often speak based on assumptions without having complete knowledge of a situation, which leads to misunderstandings and conflicts. Being impeccable with your word means only speaking what you know is true. Words based on false assumptions mislead both you and others. Assumptions are built on fears, worries, and judgments rather than facts. Therefore, it is crucial to ensure that our words are always grounded in truth. At its core, being impeccable with your word means taking responsibility. Choosing to be honest, kind, and constructive in our language toward ourselves and others is an acceptance of this responsibility. Using your words with love transforms both your inner and outer worlds. Being impeccable with our word creates a revolution, not just in our external reality, but in our internal reality as well. When we approach ourselves and others with love, this love is reflected in every aspect of our lives. Being impeccable with your word also increases the respect we have for ourselves and for others. Using careful, kind, and honest language deepens our relationships and makes us more empathetic and understanding individuals. Your words have the power to heal or harm others. The choice is yours, and it determines the quality of your life and relationships. In conclusion, The agreement "Be impeccable with your word" is one of the most fundamental and powerful teachings in Toltec wisdom. This agreement allows us to create a life that is more loving, balanced, and fulfilling by making the language we use toward ourselves and others more conscious. Your word is your creative power. When you use it carefully, your life is shaped by that power. By approaching ourselves and others with love, honesty, and understanding, we can create miracles both within ourselves and in the world around us. The second agreement, "Don't take anything personally." The second agreement in Toltec wisdom is "Don't take anything personally." This agreement is based on the idea that nothing others say or do is because of you. According to Don Miguel Ruiz, what people say, think, or do is entirely related to their own reality, not yours. Nothing others do is because of you. Everyone lives in their own dream. Applying this agreement to your life will free you from unnecessary pain and stress. People often take what others say personally. When someone criticizes, judges, or even praises them, they believe it's a reflection of who they are. However, according to Toltec wisdom, what a person says or does is merely a reflection of their own beliefs, fears, and perceptions. Other people's words are a reflection of their own dream. When you stop taking things personally, you free yourself from the drama they try to impose on you. When someone insults or belittles you, it is an expression of their own internal struggles, anger, and fears. This insult has nothing to do with you. However, when people take what others say and do personally, they magnify the situation in their minds. They interpret criticism as a personal attack, leading to defensiveness or retaliation. Even when someone praises or compliments you, this too should not be taken personally. Positive feedback is also a reflection of the person's own beliefs and perceptions. Therefore, neither praise nor criticism defines your true worth. Nothing is personal, neither praise nor criticism. Depending on the approval of others means constantly seeking external validation. Instead, you should determine your own worth based on your inner strength, not how others perceive you. Implementing this agreement may seem difficult at first. Most of us are raised to care deeply about what others think or say, from childhood onward. Society, family, and school teach us to pay attention to others' opinions. Thus, not taking things personally requires a major shift in perspective. However, this shift leads to freedom. When you stop taking things personally, other people's thoughts and words lose their power over you. Not taking things personally means freeing yourself from the judgments, criticisms, and expectations of others. What people think or say does not define who you are. You know your own truth. Other people's words do not define you. Only you know who you are. This is an inner strength. Learning to recognize your own worth without needing others' opinions boosts your confidence and brings you inner peace. According to Toltec wisdom, taking things personally is an act of the ego. The ego constantly wants to defend itself, prove its worth, or feel superior. This is why we become sensitive to others' criticisms, praises, or actions. However, not taking things personally means setting the ego aside. Your ego allows others to judge you. When you stop taking things personally, you silence the voice of the ego and move closer to true freedom. When others treat you negatively, it is a reflection of their own pain. This understanding also gives you the power to forgive. You know that their behavior is not about you. In conclusion, the "Don't take anything personally" agreement helps individuals protect themselves from the influence of the outside world and find their inner strength. When you apply this agreement to your life, the thoughts, words, or actions of others no longer have any effect on you. When you free yourself from others' dreams, you discover true freedom. When you know your own truth, how the outside world defines you becomes irrelevant, bringing you true inner freedom and peace. The third agreement, "Don't make assumptions." The third agreement in Toltec wisdom is "Don't make assumptions." This agreement highlights the source of many misunderstandings and unnecessary problems: assumptions. As Don Miguel Ruiz explains, assumptions are thoughts based on fear, uncertainty, or insecurity, not on real knowledge. Assumptions are the root of misunderstandings. We believe something to be true without knowing for sure, and we react accordingly. People often make assumptions about a situation or person without fully understanding what they are thinking or feeling, and this causes unnecessary pain and conflict for themselves and others. Assumptions are stories that people create in their minds, and these stories are often far from the truth. Misinterpreting someone's behavior or perceiving a situation incorrectly happens through assumptions. When you don't have the facts, you fill in the gaps with your own story. And that story is often wrong. For example, if you think a friend is acting cold towards you, you may immediately assume they are upset with you. This assumption causes internal stress and can harm your relationship. However, the reality might be that your friend is simply going through a tough time, and it has nothing to do with you. But assumptions cloud the truth and mislead us. Making assumptions not only disrupts our relationships, but also disturbs our inner peace. Jumping to conclusions without knowing the full story leads to anxiety, fear, and misunderstandings in our minds. When you make assumptions, you create a story and you accept that story as truth. This leads to unnecessary pain. Assumptions are often based on worst-case scenarios in our minds. People torment themselves with negative thoughts and act as if these negative thoughts are real. At the heart of the third agreement is communication. Don Miguel Ruiz suggests replacing assumptions with open and clear communication. If you are unsure about something, the best approach is to ask, rather than assuming. Instead of assuming, ask direct questions and find out the truth. If you don't know what someone is thinking or feeling, the healthiest and most direct way is to ask them. However, people often hesitate to ask questions and instead act based on their assumptions. This leads to misunderstandings and unnecessary conflicts. Assumptions also damage people's self-confidence. When someone acts based on assumptions, it is often driven by their fears. For example, a person who doesn't see themselves as valuable may assume that others also see them as worthless. This assumption weakens their confidence and causes them to withdraw in social situations. Making assumptions based on your own fears and insecurities causes you to limit yourself and drift away from the truth. To apply the third agreement in your life, you need to prioritize clear and honest communication. This agreement teaches people to seek clarity rather than relying on assumptions. If you are uncertain about something, asking questions, seeking clarification, and learning the truth is the best approach. Toltec wisdom suggests that assumptions are a mental trap that mislead us. Assumptions also lead us to believe in false things about ourselves. For instance, if you make a mistake and assume others think badly of you, this can lock you into a false belief system. In reality, others may not have any negative thoughts about you at all. But assumptions create a prison of our own making. The only way to escape this prison is to seek the truth and avoid making assumptions. In conclusion, the Don't Make Assumptions agreement helps individuals live a clearer, healthier, and more truthful life. Replacing assumptions with clear communication and learning the facts not only preserves your inner peace, but also strengthens your relationships with others. When you stop making assumptions, your mind clears and your life becomes less complicated. This agreement frees our minds from negative thoughts and unnecessary scenarios, opening the door to a more peaceful life. The fourth agreement, always do your best. The fourth and final agreement in Toltec wisdom is always do your best. This agreement is the key to putting the other three agreements into practice. Don Miguel Ruiz explains that this agreement will not always bring the same results, as our circumstances and mood constantly change. However, the important thing is to always try to do your best, no matter the situation. Your best will change from moment to moment, but regardless of the circumstances, always do your best. Doing your best doesn't mean you have to be perfect to achieve success. On the contrary, this agreement teaches you to stay away from perfectionism and focus on doing the best you can. Sometimes doing your best means being very productive, and other times it might mean just resting. The key is to put your heart into what you do and do it to the best of your ability. Don't do things just because you have to. Do them because you genuinely want to and because they matter to you. This agreement also emphasizes the importance of being honest with yourself. Sometimes when we struggle or fail, we may feel inadequate. However, doing your best is about effort, not results. Ruiz states, "If you always do your best, you free yourself from self-judgment and guilt," showing how this agreement helps individuals be at peace with themselves. Success or failure doesn't matter. What matters is that you did your best given the circumstances. This agreement also includes the principle of showing patient and consistent effort. Instead of doing something once and giving up, focusing on always doing your best ensures that you'll eventually succeed. Your success is not measured by how much you accomplish, but by how much effort you put in. If you take small steps every day, those steps will eventually lead you to your goal. Always doing your best leads to inner peace as well. If you do your best in a task and still fail, that failure won't bother you. Because deep down, you know that you gave it your all. This boosts self-confidence and helps free you from unnecessary feelings of guilt. When you do your best, you won't feel regret because you've been honest with yourself. However, it's also important to remember that you should not overwork yourself. Doing your best doesn't mean pushing yourself until you're exhausted. Sometimes, doing your best means taking time to rest and rejuvenate. When you're tired, the best thing you can do might be to take a break and care for yourself. Therefore, doing your best can take different forms depending on the situation. In conclusion, always do your best is the foundation of the other three agreements. If you always do your best, you won't feel guilt or regret toward yourself or others. This agreement is the key to inner peace and self-respect. No matter what, always do your best, and life will lead you to true happiness, the path of mastery, a new dream. The teachings of Toltec wisdom aim to awaken and free individuals within their own lives. The path of mastery represents the final stage of this awakening. Don Miguel Ruiz explains that much of our lives are spent living in someone else's dream. From the moment we are born, we live according to the beliefs, rules, and norms imposed upon us. This life is not our reality. It is a dream shaped by the expectations of others and the conditioning of society. Freedom is waking up from this dream and creating your own. The path of mastery requires individuals to become aware of their own dreams and consciously create them. It is time to stop living by the beliefs imposed by others and instead form your own values and live according to them. This process is about creating a new dream. Life is a dream, and the power to create that dream lies in your hands. A master is someone who shapes their own dream and knows how to direct it. This new dream is built on love and awareness. In Toltec teachings, love is the most powerful source of energy. Love transforms our attitude toward ourselves and others. A master lives with love. They create their dream with love and reflect that love onto others. Creating a new dream requires breaking the patterns of the old one. The old dream is full of fear, judgment, and limitations. Mastery is the ability to free oneself from these patterns and create a dream full of love and freedom. Walking the path of mastery requires patience and awareness. You must remain conscious of your dream at every moment and observe how you are shaping it. A true master is conscious in every moment. They are always aware of what they think, say, and do. This awareness means continually observing yourself and changing old habits when necessary. The beliefs and thought patterns that created the old dream are obstacles to a life of freedom. Creating a new dream is not just an individual transformation, it is also a collective one. The path of mastery includes inspiring others and guiding them toward creating their own dreams. A master not only beautifies their own dream, but also enhances the dreams of others. This is the result of living with love, understanding, and compassion. In conclusion, the path of mastery is the process of consciously creating your own dream. This path requires freeing oneself from fears, living a life full of love, and acting with awareness. Creating a new dream means rebuilding your life with love and freedom. Mastery is a goal that anyone can achieve, and this goal is reached by discovering one's own inner potential. Heaven on earth. In Toltec wisdom, the concept of heaven on earth is not a place to reach but a state of awareness. According to Don Miguel Ruiz, heaven and hell are not external locations, but experiences we create within our own minds. If we shape our lives with love, awareness, and freedom, we can experience heaven here and now in this life. You don't need to go anywhere else to find heaven. You can create it in the life you are living right now. Heaven on earth is about finding inner peace and reflecting that peace in the outer world. When you fill your life with fear, judgment, and limitations, your mind becomes a kind of hell. However, when you open yourself to love and break the chains of the past, your life transforms into heaven. To rid yourself of fear is to bring heaven to earth. According to Toltec wisdom, everyone has the power to create this heaven within themselves. Experiencing heaven on earth depends on one's ability to create their dream with love, understanding, and freedom. When you decide to live in heaven, the world around you changes too. The path of mastery is about living this heaven consciously and lovingly every moment. In conclusion, the philosophy of heaven on earth is a state of awareness that allows people to find inner peace and happiness in their own lives. Living with love and awareness is the key to experiencing this heaven. Heaven is here and now, a place you can create in your own dream.